What's up, everybody?
Ciao.
So,
3 people.
it's a kitty. A very special episode today. At least it is for me, because we are talking all about Invisible Woman.
The queen.
Yes, Marvel's First Lady. And we are super hyped to talk about her.
Yes, I'm super hyped to learn more about her. Because I know that she's like the first lady, but I don't know much about her. Like, I know that she's part of the Fantastic Four. I know that she's some powerful babe, but I don't really understand what type of powers that she has. But I'm pretty sure you can school me today.
Yeah, I can give you some knowledge.
Nice.
And she is like my favorite female Marvel superhero. Then, so
How did you discover her?
well, when I first started collecting comics, I'm pretty sure it was through Spider-Man, because I first got into Marvel from Spider-Man, and then I think the Fantastic Four were in a few of his stories in some of the comics I read, so I'm like, they seem interesting. So I started getting Fantastic Four comics, and so it kind of went on from there.
Yeah, because I only got like introduced to her, unfortunately, due to the Fantastic Four movie that came out, I think in 2004, 2005,
Mm-hmm.
which wasn't, I think, the best introduction to them, but well, at least it was an introduction.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen her pop up in some of the comics that I have. I think she was even in like the Infinity Gauntlet and Infinity War. I'm not sure.
And
Freaking away!
yes, you are right. Spidey is how it all started for me.
I think for everybody, actually.
Yeah.
Because even growing up, I have an older brother. He had like all the Spidey runs that were going on, and I didn't understand any of it. Like the Amazing Spider-Man, Peter Parker, Spider-Man, whatever.
Yeah.
Spider-Man as Peter Parker.
There's so many.
Yeah, so confusing.
Mm-hmm. That's why I'm glad that like the Fantastic Four has only existed in like one like comic run. This is the annual where Reed and Sue get married. So
Ooh. So we basically have the prequel right here, because here she's just engaged.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
But you said that she was first known as the Invisible Girl?
Yes. In the very beginning.
Can you tell
So
us it?
I guess I'll just give a backstory and we'll go from there.
Yes, please.
Okay. All right. So trying to think of how it started. All the way back in 1961. Of course, when we first see Sue, she's pretty sure she's already engaged to Reed Richards when they go up into space. And so after they get their powers, they get exposed with cosmic rays, and they come back to Earth with superpowers. And when they finally come up with the name Fantastic Four, it's Invisible Girl. So she actually keeps that name for quite a while, until like the 80s in the John Byrne run, which is one of my favorites. So basically, as her name suggests, her powers, she can control visible light. It's not per se like turning invisible. She can just reflect visible light off of herself and other objects. So that's how she becomes invisible. And it's basically all in her mind. Like she controls it with her thoughts and everything. So she once she loses concentration on whatever she's doing, then it'll go away. And we have
That's
some comments
oh.
here. 90s cartoons are
Many. Yes. And 80s. Ooh, it's heck.
What's up? Oh, hey, John. Glad you can make it.
Hello.
All right. So anyway, so basically it's the same thing with her force fields. Once she loses concentration, they just go away. But I think it's the force fields that makes her so much more powerful. Obviously, she can basically create anything she wants, anything she can imagine. She can make. Like, obviously, force fields, barriers, domes. She can like levitate herself into the air by controlling the force fields, and she could even create weapons too, like invisible swords or stuff like that.
So, for example, if you put her up against Wanda, who do you think would win?
That's a tough one, but I mean, obviously Scarlet Witch has magic, so she could do a lot. But
yeah, but if Susie Q works with, I forgot the word. Oh, I really forgot the word. What the hell is happening? Force fields.
Yeah.
I think she. Well, it's an interesting thought right here. I mean, you both have powerful mind ladies, so
Yeah, but there is one thing that she could do to Scarlet Witch before Scarlet Witch could even do anything. She could just basically just create a force field around her head and like stop oxygen from getting in, because she can do that.
So I guess we have our answer then. Because in the last issue, when she goes against Aiden and she goes into the conversation with him that she actually can kill, but she does a lot to control herself. She goes into details. You're like, okay, girl, you're powerful.
Yeah, it's like the way she said that, it's almost like she's afraid of her own power.
Definitely.
Because like there's probably like so much that she doesn't even know that she can do. And like she doesn't like she's not the type of person to just kill someone, obviously. So think that was really interesting.
I think all the blondes went for young Spidey.
Mm-hmm. That too. She can just that's what she does with like Doom bots too. She like creates force fields inside of them and just expands it until they explode.
Yeah, I mean, with the Fantastic Four, she basically stops Galactus a bunch of times, as far as I know. So it's a powerful babe.
And even one
Oh
time,
God, I see Hack coming up with this fantasy.
yeah, she can for sure.
Oh dear.
There's a wide range of things that she can do. Yeah, I remember that. I mean, really, she can suffocate anyone.
I mean, that's pretty interesting, and that she has not been really done any justice so far in the movies.
I
That's
know.
quite sad.
I know, it's upsetting.
For sure.
Like
I
in
guess
the
it's
like in the first two movies, I enjoyed them, but I don't think they really showed half of what she could really do.
yeah. I mean, it was Jessica Alba, and I knew her at that time just from the movie Honey, where she was just dancing. And it's okay if actors expand their horizon, but I don't think she was a right fit.
Yeah.
Eh.
And I don't
What?
even want to get into the 2015 movie because I did not like that at all.
I couldn't even finish that one. I actually I bought it on DVD, which was already something, but I can probably just use it as a frisbee one day. But just I think I got to like the first 30 minutes, and I'm like, I cannot do this anymore.
I went to the movies to see it, actually.
Ah,
So
but you had a good night's sleep.
oh man. All
Why
right.
are you suddenly so active? I'm sorry, my cat usually only sleeps, but now suddenly she's like, again, like the paranormal activity type of. Stop doing that. Again, if I disappear, like.
Yeah, so this is one of my favorite covers of her.
Oh, I understand.
I just like how all the bullets are like squished.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
The Matrix style.
Yeah. So
Ooh.
and so quickly before we get into the actual comic, I wanted to just briefly go over how she like really became Invisible Woman.
The cat wants to go out. And we're back. I'm sorry.
You're good.
Cats, like kids. Like go to fucking. Oh, sorry. I don't should not use bad language. I'm sorry. Ooh, $5 for Gabby. I'm sorry. It
Okay.
slipped.
Okay. So for those of you who aren't fully familiar with Invisible Woman, I'm just going to go over just a monumental like moment that happened in her history where she really became Invisible Woman. So it happens in the John Byrne run, Fantastic Four. It's in the 80s. So there's one villain that comes into play. They call him Psycho Man, and his name
Is it
speaks for
Hack?
himself.
It's Hack.
Oh, so and he obviously is psycho. He can manipulate people's emotions, and with his psycho ray or whatever it's called, it actually looks like a box, to be honest with you. But he can control someone's fear, doubt, and hate. So makes him pretty dangerous.
Yeah, I'm surprised it didn't turn him into a woman then, because I thought that was more like the woman quality, right?
So around the issue that I'm going to talk about, I think there's something you guys need to know happened before that. So at some point, Sue became pregnant for the second time. They were expecting their second child, and long story short, she ended up having a miscarriage, unfortunately. And she lost the baby despite Reed's efforts to try to save her, or the baby and her. And so she was very emotionally vulnerable and grieving her child. And so that gave Psycho Man the perfect opportunity to come in and manipulate her emotions. So it leads me to this cover.
Ooh, hate.
Yes. I'm sorry. So this is issue number 280. Man, I don't know what's wrong with my voice. Hold on one second. I'm going to try to clear this.
La 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 la, and we have a party. Ooh, and she's gone. Gabby, where are you? I guess the paranormal activity hit Gabby. Oh,
Okay.
she's back.
I'm sorry. I don't know what's wrong with my voice right now.
Do re mi.
Okay. So anyway, so basically at the start of this issue, and if you didn't know, She-Hulk was actually part of the team at the time, which was cool. I love She-Hulk too. And so they run into kind of a crisis, and all these people just start rallying outside the Baxter building and protesting mutants, actually.
Of course.
So you can see that.
Muties go home.
Yep.
E.T. phone home.
So they're trying to figure out where to go because, like, the people are getting violent and stuff like that. They were throwing bricks at them, and it was getting bad. And I think part of the reason is because Psycho Man was kind of influencing everyone. And so you see She-Hulk, like, running through all this destruction and fire, and then she comes upon this.
The creative outfit from the 80s. Love it.
So this woman is the result of Psycho Man's doing, and she calls herself Malice, Mistress of Hate.
Sounds legit. Like an 80s rock band.
So basically what Psycho Man did is used his Psycho Ray, or the hate ray, on Sue because she was already very, like, emotionally vulnerable, as I said. And so she was kind of blaming herself for what happened to their child. And so he basically turned her into Malice, which is, she's basically complete opposite of what Sue is. And that's just, it's tragic.
Sounds very interesting, though.
It is. And, like, and then you see her literally fighting She-Hulk in the middle of the street.
She-Hulk.
And, like, Sue, or Malice, she barely moves a muscle. She just slams her into the ground.
It's total Mortal Kombat style, right? Like, test your might.
Yeah. And then at first we don't really know, like, me as the reader, we didn't really know who this woman was. And then they reveal that it's actually Sue. So she takes off a mask, and yeah.
Lady Gaga on meth.
Exactly. And so then we go to this cover.
Nice.
One of my favorite.
I need to read that story.
You do. It's like I recommend this run to like everyone who wants to read Fantastic Four by John Byrne. Really
I'm
great.
writing it down. For future episode.
And then for the start of this issue, you see literally the city's on fire. And Psycho Man's completely like taken control of everyone, and like you see people attacking each other, and he comes up with a plan to lure the Fantastic Four into the microverse, which is where he lives, basically. So it's kind of like the quantum realm.
Cat wants back in. Damn it. Sorry, Gabby.
It's all good.
I hope she's not having that moment where she wants to go in and out and she already walks back towards the door. Don't try. Okay,
My
whatever. Don't be annoying.
So yeah, the microverse is basically where like Psycho Man lives, and it's pretty much the same thing as the quantum realm that's in the MCU. Oh, cats.
She's having that moment again. In and out, in and out, in and out. It's like heck.
All right, so basically, as the city is on fire, Reed and Johnny, they go out to see what's going on. They run into Daredevil, actually, and he helps them find what's happening. And they end up finding Malice, and she just straight up attacks them. And pretty much all the dark and hateful thoughts that Sue has ever like felt, basically they all came to the surface during this time, and she said some pretty horrible stuff. And yeah,
just give her chocolate.
So Reed tried to like wrap around her, and she just like made a force field spike ball.
Damn.
Yeah. And then they come to realize that it is Sue. So that's a shock.
Oh.
So
I'll throw you out of the window, Hack. Under the bridge downtown. Oh, ba-doom. We have a dad Joker in the house.
Yep. So, where was I? So Reed, being the genius that he is, he came up with a plan to try to break Sue out of Psycho Man's control. And so he started saying these like really hateful things to her, and I think it was just to like piss her off, like for real. She's just lucky she didn't like literally just kill him just out of the blue.
Sounds like me and Hack, actually.
So pretty much what he said was like, you're basically useless to the team, like, and stuff like that. And I know this is pretty iconic, but he actually slaps her.
Whoa!
I was like, whoa, dude. Okay.
When it was still allowed in the 80s. If that's what's released right now.
Yeah, so then after that she just like explodes on him, and that's what breaks Psycho Man's control over her. And now she's at that point basically out for vengeance for what he did to her, which I can't say I blame her. Because he basically
Amen.
twisted her soul inside out, and yeah.
But at least we know how she really feels.
Yeah. And so they end up making a trip to the microverse where Psycho Man captures all of them, unfortunately, and basically torments them. It's awful. But they end up escaping, and they basically confront Psycho Man directly, and Sue ends up turning his own weapon against him. And then she realized that she's not really the same person anymore after that. And that's when she says, like, one of my favorite quotes from her. So I'm just going to read it real quick.
Cool.
The Psycho Man did more than twist my emotions. He forced me to look in the deepest corners of my soul, forced me to confront who I am and what I've become. When we rocketed into the cosmic ray belt, when we gained our superpowers, when we lost something, an innocence, a childlike naivety. For a long time, I've tried to go on as if we're still the same people we used to be, as if I was still the same. But now I'm not. Not after all that's happened to us. Not after what Psycho Man did to me. There is no invisible girl anymore, Reed. She died when Psycho Man twisted her soul. From now on, I'm the invisible woman.
Whoa!
So.
They did also in the 70s and 80s, maybe also in the 60s. They were thinking a lot, you know. It's like even with like the Miss Marvel series from the 70s, it's like just everything that you read in a comic, it's just her thought. It's like just shut it, woman. All these thought bubbles. Reed's pimp hand was strong.
Yeah. So yeah, that moment was pretty pivotal for her as a character, and like looking back and reading who she was back in the beginning comics as opposed to now, she's definitely grown a lot, and you definitely see that.
In a good way, I hope, because a lot of characters, they get kind of like less. Hello, Carol Danvers.
Yeah, so. And
we have a friend of yours in the house.
Hey, Crispy. Woo! Crispy Spidey. What's up? Thanks for tuning in. We are talking about, or getting ready to talk about, the Invisible Woman series.
The Queen.
Yes. Marvel's First Lady.
I understand now. First Lady, like, she's legit.
Yes.
And I got a lot of homework to do.
And one of the things that I love about Fantastic Four in general is like the family aspect of it. And despite how dysfunctional they are, like as a group, it's mostly with Johnny and Ben, but still, I know that they deeply care for each other. They would like die for each other, literally.
Oh.
So, and like Sue is obviously the mother figure of the group. She keeps the team together, or the family together, and so she's the glue that holds everyone together. And she's very loving, and not only is she a superhero, she's a wife and a mom too, on top of all that. So, and she, like, based on what she can do with her powers, she can definitely hold her own.
Oh, yes, because that's what I realized in this book right here. Like, she is a badass.
Yes.
And it's such a shame it's only 5 issues.
Oh, I know.
Ooh. And then they have the amazing Marilyn Monroe tribute, or
Yes.
Diamonds Are a Girl Best Friend tribute.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4
I'm
and
just happy.
5.
I'm just happy they finally gave her own, like, solo series in general.
I hope there will be another one, even if it's just like more in depth with this one, maybe like a different type of. But
Yeah.
also, we will soon dive into issue 1. It pretty much shows that she's talking about, the kids are grown up. Her husband is doing her husband thing, and
Yep.
and she really tries to figure out who Sue Storm is, or that's what you also notice throughout the series. It's almost like she is missing something, like by Voorbeeld, which is Dutch. Oh my god. for example, my god, Brainpot. Dutch word of the day by Voorbeeld. For example, when she goes to that party in was it Italy? Yeah,
Yeah.
where she's like, oh, I miss these type of drinking parties. Like, she is in a way, I don't know, she sounds lonely.
Yeah. Like, she's trying to figure out who she is again, because she's just trying to find out, like she calls it, like, a chance to recalibrate. So
Yeah. So I hope like more adventures will come, especially also maybe with her and Black Widow, just in general, because even Black Widow was like a bit surprised at one point that she was actually part of this assignment. She was like, "What, you did that?"
Mm-hmm.
But we will dive into that slowly.
Yeah. Yeah, that suit honestly wasn't my favorite. I'm like, whoa.
Oh, that caught Hack's attention. He's like, "Oh, window? I like windows."
Yeah, that suit was very revealing, for sure.
Indeed.
All right, so
So,
shall we get into this?
yes. So for me, this was around the time where I discovered new single issues. I didn't know it was a thing because I thought it was just trades and you had like back issues. I'm sorry, Gabby. I'm having a brain. And so I walked into a comic shop and I see this long box of all these comics and the new comics. And I'm like, oh, like I can spend 25 euros on a trade, or I can spend 25 euros on newer comics to discover new characters. And this was one of them. And to be honest, this is actually just one of the few series that I really enjoyed and really loved, and also the artwork, because nowadays artwork is either love or hate. I mean, I'm old, so I'm very used to like the 80s and 90s type of artwork, which for me has more soul into it than some of the trash that's being released nowadays.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, but this series, I didn't know she was such a badass.
That she is.
Yeah. uh, so shall we go noob style with the sharing screen and stuff?
Sure.
So that people can kind of see.
What we're talking about.
Yeah.
All right.
Alright. Let's see. Oh snap. Yes.
Wait,
Is it showing?
it's not the. Hold on. I need to, there we go.
Woo! Yay! Okay, so this is total noob style.
Yep.
But this is the amazing, amazing cover of issue 1.
Yep.
And it basically starts in Europe, in Bazilstan. Again, Hungary.
Hungary.
Yeah,
Here we go.
like a lot of things go down in Hungary.
Mm-hmm.
But I really love her because, she is the one with the dark hair. I love that look on her. She is such a queen.
Yes. Agreed.
So basically what's going on right here, this is back in time. This is when Sue was a spy for S.H.I.E.L.D. And, they basically used her quote unquote specific skill set so that she could make people look invisible and help them pass the border. And yeah. And of course, one of the gods is drunk and everything goes to hell, so to say, because he bumps into the actual character that, as you can see right here.
Yeah.
And the guy in the red coat, he is Aiden. He is like her partner in crime, and
Mm-hmm.
he is one of the main. Is it protagonist or one of the baddies?
I mean, it's really hard to say, like, without spoiling it yet.
I mean, look at the artwork. I mean, oh my gosh, it's just amazeballs.
Mm.
She's so pretty.
Yes. Even with dark hair.
Yes. And I also like, this type of artwork where it's
Mm-hmm.
basically where you see her as the invisible woman with her superpower, so to say.
Mm-hmm.
Mož boze, because we're Slovak. And
The
also
thing
the
is,
small details, with the snow that's hitting them, where
mhm,
it's revealing.
yeah, it's like outlining them.
Yeah. I thought, oh gosh, just looking
Yeah.
at it. I mean, look at this. It's just a piece of art. It's so beautiful.
Yes. And I think this is literally the first time I've seen Sue like hold a gun in her hand, if I'm not mistaken.
I want to know that, but I know for sure in this comic, like also in the last issue where you basically see her all shocked, like with a gun in her hand.
Hmm.
I,
Because technically, she doesn't really need a gun.
no.
So it was different for me to see her in this like light in the
Yeah, so
story.
what I really understood from this particular story is just her proving a point that you don't have to kill someone to get the mission accomplished.
Yeah. And then she says to Aiden like multiple times, "I have one rule: I won't kill anyone."
And then later on, just blaming her, which is in the later issue. But yeah, for a first issue, this is just, I mean, the emotions, everything is just beautiful. And
Mm-hmm.
oh gosh, I can't stress it enough. And then here she is, the queen.
Yep.
Woo! With a hideous outfit, but that's okay. I guess that's part of it.
That looks like her original costume, though.
Yeah, from what I remember.
Mm-hmm.
And, here it goes where we talked about earlier when she's like, I'm known as the Fantastic Four woman who saves the world with, against Doom,
Mm-hmm.
a mother,
A wife,
a wife.
a sister, and a friend.
Saving the galaxy multiple times. And
Yeah.
the best thing for her is coffee. And here you basically get that. I don't know if it's a lonely vibe, but it's more like, she's trying to rediscover herself, who she is as a person, because she has dedicated so much time. Like, how do you say that? Like, she wasn't front and center. She always did everything for everybody else.
I mean,
And
that's just the type of person she is, though. Like, she's always taking care of everyone, her brother, her husband, her kids, looking
yeah,
at her friends as well. And so she does it all. That's why I said she's the glue that holds everything
yes. And here she gets, the quote unquote answer that she's kind of looking for. She
together.
gets a call from the CIA headquarters, and basically what's happening here is just the CIA agent just calls her in for intel. But of course, a typical CIA agent will tell her like, "Oh, we don't need you," blah blah blah. But they know, I want to say goddamn, but they know they know well that she's just not going to sit back and do
Yeah.
nothing,
That's not who she is.
because Aiden allegedly has been kidnapped, and they can't really find him, and 5 kids are being held hostage. So it's oh, that was the coolest thing, because he only left one message, which was one word. Yeah, Stormy.
Stormy.
So that's what he used to call her. So that was like her calling, like, okay, he needs me.
Yeah.
And gosh, she's so
And
beautiful.
like she says, if he's calling me, then it must be for a good reason.
You hope, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
So she does something sneaky there. She steals a file.
yeah, she is such a badass. But
Then,
this is, I believe, the son, right, of Nick Fury. Not because we saw. Uh, I don't know exactly how
it
it
says,
goes.
it says Colonel Fury.
Because he makes like a reference about the dad, like, or
Oh, yeah.
maybe we'll see it, or maybe not. But that's not the point. The point is that she is such a badass,
Yeah.
and then she gets to
And look at it.
Madripoor.
And look at that. She just walks casually into this place and not invisible at all. And she just handles it like a pro.
Oh, she is such a powerful being. And of course, when this happened, I was
Yeah.
like, is it?
I was like, what?
Yes.
Another queen.
Yes, because especially with this particular series, you wish Black Widow would get a story like this. But I'm glad it went to Sue Storm, because it made me discover her as um, a badass queen. I'm looking for words here. And I'll
Yeah.
just stop it right here so I can, behind the scenes, go to issue 2. uh, but
Yes.
this was a really good first issue.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
And I think it's also a series that not a lot of people are talking about,
No.
unfortunately.
Because I've always said myself, like, I think Invisible Woman is very, like, overlooked and underrated, I think.
For real.
Oh, yeah. And this is the variant cover for issue number 1.
Yes.
I love it. And I got Mark Waid to sign it at Comic-Con.
I wish, like, great artists would come here because, for example, I would love to meet like Mark Silvestri or what's his name again? Jim Starlin, because he created like so many awesome stories that I really love. But it's the Netherlands.
Yeah.
We don't get that many great artists. I do know, for example, that Jim Starlin was at a con in Italia. I believe last year. Or, no, not last year. Last year was a disaster. The year before that, and that was pretty cool. I was like, snap! If only I was into comics then, I would have made the trip to Italia to worship him. Like, you're a hero. Could you please sign this, Adam Warlock? No, please don't. Just sign this tissue because I don't want my issue to be ruined.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at it now. It's like, oh.
Yeah, it is very interesting, Crispy.
Freaky Lowy dropping knowledge. Because there is a balloon somewhere in issue 1 where it's like he makes the reference like, but I don't know you like my dad did.
Yep.
But yeah, we can make horrible jokes about it, but let's not do that. So issue number 2. We don't need another hero. This is also a great cover.
Yes.
But what I found so unfortunate, because here it's lit up, I should say, but in reality it's a very dark cover, so it's not really a cover that I would frame up against my wall.
Mm-hmm.
Snap. And then again, you go back in time, and here you get to know Aiden as a person that basically it already sets the fact. I'm totally not placing the words correctly. I'm very sorry. I'm not a native speaker. But you pretty much figure out that he is a sneaky bastardo. If I just say it in Italian, it becomes less offensive, maybe, because I know that you're not a fan of that language. But basically, it's being said like, he can lie to even the best partner, and you would still believe it. And that's basically the source of this entire story between Aiden and Sue, in my opinion. So we get, some random attack going on. And then, of course, Aiden is there with Sue.
Mm-hmm. She's invisible.
And then, damn, here she is. Such a queen. But I guess, these small assignments is really what's giving her some sort of life as a person, because she can just be her and not be known as the celebrity superhero from the Fantastic Four, because there are references to it. She automatically assumes that everybody just knows her.
Mm-hmm.
Which you also see later on when she's in Ireland, like, I'm with the Fantastic Four, like, isn't my suit enough?
I mean, now you know who I am, right? Or at least have an idea.
You should know. But yeah, you're not Tony Stark yet, girl. But basically, what goes down here, like, she tries to, push him into like a normal life, like, maybe you should have like a wife and kids and settle down. And he's basically saying, if I would, it would probably be like a redheaded Irish woman. And Sue sipping on her coffee.
Yeah.
The thing that she loves the most. Yep. But I think this is so well done with the recap because a lot of time recaps are really not that interesting.
Hmm.
But they make it interesting, and then you go back to Madripoor, the two queens.
Yes.
And what I love the most is the interaction between Black Widow and Invisible Woman, because Black Widow's like, "Yo, I'm the spy. You're
Yeah.
just, you
Yeah.
don't know shit."
Yeah. So Widow's Natasha's like, I'll go in, they know me. So if you come in, just let me do the talking. And Sue's like, okay, I need a guide, not a babysitter. I'm not an amateur here. Like,
Yes, she says that right here. Like the two faces between him, like, come
yeah,
on,
they're
bitch. It's so like incredible
like,
emotion.
and I love her Sue's thought, like her eyes just rolled in her head hard enough to make a noise.
And then he was like, yeah, but because it's you're a superhero, like you cannot be the world's greatest spy. And here she mentions like an assignment that she has done once, like the brass monkey heart. I'm surprised it's still standing after the unpronounceable word affair. I'm not even gonna try it because I'm probably just pronouncing like a brand of champagne. But but then her face here, right? Like that was you. That just gave me like Black Widow in like this reminds me of Budapest all over again. Feels like what happened. So
Mhm.
hopefully one day they will make just a series about what went down with the unpronounceable name.
Maybe.
And then we enter one of the best scenes ever.
Yes. I love this part.
Like it was just, here it happens where Black Widow is ordering drinks, and then later on it's like here that even the just the conversation, it's typical women, right? Like, oh, I'm sorry, there's no umbrella in your glass, and she's like, oh, I'm not much for vodka.
Yeah. I'm not a vodka kind of girl.
But it was just a way of letting like the password so that this bad boy could come down, and right away he's more like infatuated by the woman, well, by Invisible Woman, because he's
Mhm.
like, oh, who's the lady? And she's like, oh, she's a nobody, forget
Yeah.
her.
And she's like, thanks.
And then it's like, to get an answer, we should do like an alcohol match. And then Natasha's like, oh, I'm the Russian one. I can drink you right under the table, right? Like vodka is water to me. And then he's like, no, she should do it.
Hmm. And she's
And
like,
then,
fine, bring it.
yeah,
Bring
bring
it
it,
on.
I'll do it. And then comes this guy, because automatically someone that's overweight means that he is immune for alcohol. Apparently.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's a theory.
but these panels, I mean, I shared other panels this afternoon, but these will be the second favorite panels, which is like Sue entering the drinking game.
Yeah. They both take
And
a shot and just keep going. And she's like, again, again.
like all the glasses that are piling up, and even
She's just
Black
like
Widow's
walking
face, like Black Widow's like, is she for real? And then the guy is passed out. But the thing is that the drinks are poisoned.
yeah, so
And
dead.
so you see here that Invisible Woman is still playing along, like, oh my gosh. And, Black Widow's probably like, oh, now I have to go and fight these guys. But That smirk. The drinks are still here. I never drink the vodka.
And back when I was like, nicely done.
Yeah, and she's like, I want to take all these guys down. She's like, okay, you've earned it.
Yeah,
Go for it.
Yeah.
I mean, oh gosh, everything is just, it's so beautiful. I mean, anyone that's watching right now, can you please let us know in the chat? Because we figured that us showing constantly pages from the book is not really doing it justice. So is this kind of like what you like, that we go through the comic, or is it better that we just do the glare thing? Because I think this is better. You get like a feel like what's going on, and hopefully it will interest you. We hope not to spoil too much for you, but we certainly hope that you will.
What happens?
Well, spoiler alert. But also this shot right here.
Oh, that's cool.
Such queens.
Yep.
And then I'll scroll to it fast. And also this one, I really like how the hair is like sweeping to the back.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're flying through the air, so.
Yeah, but you know, sometimes with comics, it's like the wind comes in front, but then still there is like an impossible way of hair floating around. Like they would still have like beautiful hair going to the side way to the front.
Yeah.
And the lightning. It's, yes, Kitty agrees. Oh.
Yep.
Coming for that booty. And Natasha just being a queen.
Yep.
And here's basically, there was a file in the back seat, and Natasha just gave her a picture with an address on the back, with hopefully her being there on time, because allegedly this is the wife of Aiden. So hopefully she's not in danger or dead. So, you know, what's her name again? Susan. Oh my God, being the queen, like, I'll just go there. I'll be faster than you.
Yeah.
So that was the awesome possum issue 2.
Mm-hmm. Then it gets even better in issue 3.
Yes, and in the meantime, I'm looking for it. Because this is the only way that we can show you guys the images properly or the issues properly, because we ain't gonna pay for StreamYard. At least I'm not gonna pay, because I know then you can like pop up pictures in between, and at least that's what Hack showed me that you could do, but he pays for it, but I ain't paying anything. No. So I just do it like this, and hopefully, you know, you as a viewer, you know, will understand better what we're talking about, because having catch some of the rewinds, I mean, we do show like panels like inside a comic book, but I guess it's different now. Oh gosh, everything is going wrong, of course. Oh, I'm doing it wrong. So we now go to fumetti numero 3.
Love this cover so much.
Yes. Such a queen.
Yes.
That's just, I mean, in a way, she reminded me of Anna Nicole Smith. I don't know if you know her.
I've heard her name. I would have to see a picture of her.
Well, I mean, she was kind of like this playmate that married a guy that was basically ready to die, like in his late 90s, just for the money. I mean, it's the American dream, I guess. And that's what's kind of what she got known for,
Hmm.
aside from, Playboy stuff. But the face structure kind of reminds me here. Oh God, do I have to sneeze? No. And this is where, basically the CIA dude, he told another dude, can you please keep an eye on Sue? Not that she, goes out and figure out where this Aiden guy is. And he pretty much here, he's telling her, or telling him, uh, I also checked into that other matter regarding Susan Richards. Our men have eyes on the rest of the Fantastic Four, but the Invisible Woman hasn't, forgive the pun, been seen anywhere the past 2 days. And then the emotion in his eyes, like, get me, Nick Fury.
He's like,
I
oh,
don't, I don't know why I said that in a horrible accent, but. And then we go to Ireland.
Ireland.
Yes, of course, the red hat, because that's what Irish people look like, right? So allegedly, this is the wife of Aiden. This is the house that they're supposed to be living in, and in Phantasma, peekaboo.
I'm here.
I'm your conscience. And then here comes like one of the natural assumption that everybody knows who the Fantastic Four are, and she's like, eh.
She's like,
What do you want? Yeah, the worst compliment, right? Who are you?
yeah. But I feel like out of all the Fantastic Four, Johnny would have the most problem with that, if you know what I mean.
He'd be busy flirting.
Yeah.
Hey there, sugar. How you doing? And so this lady is playing along really well because, she has tears, allegedly, apparently she has hay fever, but the Oscar goes to the apparent wife of Aiden, because we will figure out pretty soon. This is also a great scene, by the way, which, I mean, you as a fan would know, like, oh yeah, that's her superpower, but I was like, oh snap, that is so badass.
Yeah.
As a first-time reader, like, of Sue Storm, like, woo! That smirk again, she's just amazing. But then there's like this interruption, and she finds out pretty quickly that this lady, this supposed wife of Aiden, is also an agent, and yeah, brain fart. Gabby, if you want to help out.
I'm sorry. I'm just.
You're just on Instagram commenting on people like, yo, I'm in this boring live stream.
No. I'm just like
reading a lot.
So yeah, crap, forgot what I was gonna say.
Welcome.
So you see her like on her knees, like covering her ears because they have like a sonic weapon aimed at her, and at the same time she's trying to concentrate on making a force field around her and the woman to protect them from all that gunfire that's happening. And so it's probably a lot harder than what most people think because, like, yeah, her force fields are very powerful, but she does have her limits. And
and as you said earlier, if she loses concentration, then
yeah. So like she's been in quite a few fights with very strong people, like per se the Hulk. Like we all know how powerful the Hulk is, and Like when he gets angrier, he gets stronger. And so, like, if Hulk were to throw one punch, like one really hard KO punch at one of Sue's force fields, that would probably like backlash and like cause her like really a lot of pain in her brain. So
Yeah.
but still, there are only a slight few things that can penetrate her force fields, but for the most part, they're pretty much indestructible.
She's a queen. Roma. Che bella. And for anyone that has seen the Instagram post, now come some of my favorite panels ever. But the best one is yet to come, which was in issue 4. She looks like a queen.
Beautiful.
Look at that. In a way here, okay, from Anna Nicole Smith, we go to Lady Gaga-ish style, at least in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. So she's going
especially here
at like a party or at an art museum, and obviously she can't go in there looking like herself. So she comes up with a clever disguise for herself. So it like shows like her talking to her daughter, who's basically on par with her husband as far as intelligence goes. So they were talking about how her powers work, and her daughter says invisibility is the manipulation of light waves, which is true. But then again, so is color. And so she can change the color of basically anything, and like depending on how much she reflects the light waves. So that's how she's able to change the color of her hair and like give herself a slight tan on her skin. Which I didn't even know that she could do that, even as much as I know about her. Like that was something new that I learned through reading this issue.
That's awesome. It's just because I hear a bad echo. Is that me?
I don't know. I don't hear an echo.
If anyone is in the chat and you hear an echo, now I don't hear it anymore. I don't know what it was. But yeah, I hope again that they will continue with a new series. Just also, as you said, like you didn't know about this power or this gift that she had, and that there's so much to dive into because of this. And here she is, in Italia at this drinking party. And this lady right here, what did you see on the screen? She is the one that she has to go after, or at least to find out more information, because she's like, so we have like this biggest, most expensive art piece here on the wall, but yet she has the most protection.
Yeah.
Look at the queen. Bella Regina.
And also, she speaks Italian, so that's cool.
That makes her the ultimate queen.
Yes.
Just because she knows her Italian.
Yeah.
Just look at that. I mean, honestly, she would be like that in front of me. I guess I would just turn gay instantly or something like that. Ah, sì, mi piace, amore. Andiamo. Also, that small thingy that she makes the ring, like yeah,
invisible.
Such a small. I mean, look at that.
Straight up flirting with her, and she's like, after, like, if I wasn't single or if I wasn't married, I would totally go for that. Maybe 15 years ago, but I still got it.
But then again, it makes you like, if she has these type of thoughts, that there must be something in her mind that makes her feel, maybe lonely or just bored with her life, which
Hmm.
makes it so much more interesting. So she could actually go more into these type of adventures. Marvel, if you're watching, well, you probably start sending me a claim because I'm showing that. I'm kidding. But if you're Marvel, if you're watching, please
Yes, please.
work it with the queen. And also the wrinkles. I must say that the artist is a big fan of thick black eyeliner. That was trendy back in 2012, 2013, when you had like the spider legs mascara and whatever. Also, oh gosh, I love this look, just to make you as a reader understand that now they are invisible. Like you would expect something like this from like Emma Frost, who
Yeah.
is also very underrated. Um, everything, just
Yeah, I like how they did that.
cut it out and just hang it on the wall. This is just a masterpiece.
Yes.
But also, when she takes lady in the back or outside and starts talking with her, like, what exactly is going on. Um, she starts to explain right here. So I'll just leave it on so that people can also read along.
Hmm.
She starts to explain that she has a device that another half that created it with her is after, which basically is like, um, a communication. And you get to read everything right here, like, through Wi-Fi,
Hmm.
or maybe you can explain it better than I can. I'm having brain farts.
I mean,
Oh,
it says they've been experimenting with light fidelity or Li-Fi and transmitting data through light beams at high speeds. So a Li-Fi transmitter, I guess, is what they were talking about.
and then this is also badass scene because you see them, the people in the back. They're like, we are going to punch this invisible lady. But basically, the Moravians, that's like what we are now consider the bad guys as a reader,
Hmm.
because they want this device. She's under pressure, and she's like, oh, but you're of the Fantastic Four. Like, for once she's being recognized as the Fantastic Four, so that must be bad news. um, and then, it just, as soon as this, that it's bad news, because they go after her, and then
And
she
I,
comes back.
and I just love how Sue asks her about her husband Arthur and like how long they've been married, and then she was like, the lady was like 7 years, but why? And she was like, because I didn't see a ring.
Yeah, just like before, right? When she
Uh-huh.
was having a drink with the Italian guy. That was so smartly or wisely done, whatever.
I love how smart she is too.
Yes.
Like
I also,
she's not an idiot.
no, definitely. And I mean, no offense to blonde people, but she is a representation that even blondes can be smart. And this,
She's
this
like,
right here, that pose, like, bitch, please, may I help you?
really think that would work.
Right? And in heels too. I mean,
I know.
amateurs.
Amateurs.
But yeah, then,
Plot twist.
yeah. You want to talk about it?
So yeah, she starts feeling like nauseous, I guess, and infrasound, the lady calls it, and she has this device that she's using sonic waves, I guess, to like disrupt her like nervous system or something like that. And so that kind of like hurts her actually. And then we see like someone else come into the picture on the next page. And she's like, "Why are you doing this? Why not just kill me?" And surprise.
Because Stormy. Oh! Ah.
Man.
Not cool, Aiden. Not cool.
I know. Like, what the heck?
And in the meantime, I will look for issue number 4. This series came with 5 issues. So, yeah. We hope for you as a viewer this is cool enough. I think it is. It's kind of like a read along.
Yeah.
Wow. And then, like, while we're going through it, we remember things like, oh yeah, like the ring, and then she mentioning the ring again, like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. So yeah, it's actually cool that we are doing it like this, I think, in my opinion, because I forget too easily. And then afterwards, the backstage with you, I'm like, oh, I totally forgot to say this.
So I think we should do this like about any comics that we go talk about moving forward.
Yeah, I think that will be pretty cool, and especially because we talk about older series. Because, you know, with newer series, you might get people being pressed like, yeah, this is spoiler, but we just want to show you a queen.
Yes.
So this is also this great espionage cover.
Yes.
Again, it looks more bright on here, but in reality, it is quite dark. So it's, again, not really a cover that you want to put on display, because even when I'm wearing glasses from a distance, I still would have to come with a flashlight and be like, oh yeah. Oh, this, by the way. That logo, just her. That should be like a tattoo or a t-shirt, right?
Yes.
Gabby, get it tattooed. If you don't have a tattoo by next week, you're not a fan. I'm kidding. Ladies and gentlemen, what you're about to see is probably my all-time favorite panel in a comic book so far, aside from No More Mutants. I think it was, when I saw this, my mind was blown. I was like, I want this as a life-size poster. I want this as wallpaper. Like, even if it's really small that is repeated, that will give me a migraine. I don't care. I want this as a wallpaper, and I will have scroll through it slowly, because, oh my goodness.
Beautiful.
Oh my goodness. Look at the details, people.
I know.
The mouth, just, oh my god, don't you just want to make out with the page like this? Hello? Where am I?
Why can't I see? That must be terrifying, though.
Yes. Especially when you get like in a state of shock. But by the way, like the smaller details, like the small piece of hair at the side. Again, the thick eyeliner. I'm not complaining though. So this is basically what she sees. Niente. And
She
she
just hears all
basically,
these voices.
yeah, but basically it's Aiden and the other lady that I kind of forget the name of, or is it right there? Oh,
Octavia.
Octavia, there we go. My phone was blocking it. And they basically need her for her powers, of course. And then just when everything gets so intense, you go back 8 years ago, and again, she's so pretty with the dark hair.
Yeah.
So this is again like a mission between her and Aiden, and um, again a matter of life and death. We don't kill people, but this was probably one of those missions that she's probably thinking back on where he might have turned.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
Invisible car.
look at that smile. Ooh.
She's like,
Hey there, sugar. You saw what I did? But it also just goes to show that, you know, Susan really cared about Aiden, and she really thought that he was her partner in crime.
yeah,
Like he would never betray her, but
yeah. She thought that he was a good
she,
man.
yeah, really. And now we get to like the whole, well, soon we will get into the whole victimizing thing of Aiden, where he basically blames Sue for why he started killing people, that he actually enjoys it. Um, so basically, this lady right here, she's like, you will be able to see again as long as I'm convinced that you're fully committed to what we're doing here. Um, but then, of course, Sue wouldn't be Sue. Sue wouldn't be a queen.
Yeah.
Of course, she starts to really focus and concentrate, because that's one. If you catch this on the rewind, or you have paid attention to what Gabby was saying, like she really has to concentrate for her powers to be able to work. And this, now that I know and I see this, I'm like, yeah, Gabby was right.
And so, like, basically what it's saying here is, like, her eyes, like, says, like, normal humans register objects using reflected light, as she says, but hers are special because, I mean, hers work the same way, but in a way that she can also see reflected cosmic rays in the atmosphere, which on their Earth apparently there is. So she uses that to be able to see like outlines of shapes and people. So that's basically a radar for her, which I think is awesome.
Yes. And then the queen unleashes her power.
Yes. Gets that remote back.
Yes, this also, by the way, I mean, the
She's like,
details, the
allow me.
light. Look, I mean, just this panel alone would just almost give me like a hand fetish. So yes, this comic series is giving me mental issues, but in a good way.
Much better.
Yeah, actually, I think we should just leave.
I love that. I love the artwork here.
Everything. I mean, the back muscles. Oh
Yeah.
my God, she's perfect.
And Aiden's trying to tell her that she'll stand down. She's like, "Excuse me? Like, are you serious? Like, no."
Uh, So here we get like into the segment where the lady starts explaining like the thing that they've created, that it's actually quite dangerous and they need the other half. And if Sue would just cooperate, then they could save these 5 children that are taken hostage that we've seen before in a picture.
Mhm.
Um, that they have to go over here to this mountaintop fortress. Eyes. um, and the fact that she's now figuring out that Aiden is such a betrayer, like a double agent, and she hopes so badly that he is still the Aiden that she knew, but not
Unfortunately, it doesn't
really.
always work out like that.
No.
Like,
Of
I love the expression on her face here. She's like,
I could be drinking a coffee now back in New York, you know, that type of face. Because she loves her coffee so much. I mean, this entire series is just a big sigh. I think that's the only thing that we're doing. Like, so
yeah,
perfect.
like, why? And here she's trying to figure out or trying to ask him like, why? Why did you do this? Why did you turn?
Yes. And that's when he pretty much starts um, explaining that he was always like this, but that basically Sue kept him quote unquote like under control. Like when you were around, you know, I had a reason not to kill people.
Mhm.
Uh, but once I started, because you left, because in issue 1, it's basically known that, you know, she was engaged, because that's what she tells Aiden, like, no, I'm engaged. So, you know,
Mhm.
what happens next? The Fantastic Four, Gabby knows it better than I do, but I only know, oh, Fantastic Four happens after this. But Aiden was pretty much, you know, like his partner in crime was suddenly gone, and you get into this like this inner demon that comes out of him. And you know, the killing, like the first time, I mean, pretty brutal panels as well. Like,
Yeah.
you know, the first time is like, you know, it's as a lot of people say, like the first time it's bad, but then you do it a second time, and then you actually see that,
Yeah.
you know, it's convenient, it's actually working out for the better, and you actually like it, and sometimes you just do it because you can. And that's pretty much the person Aiden has turned into.
Mhm.
Basically also killing a child.
Oh.
And what you can read on this page right here is like, she was 9 years old, she was still alive, and I knew she could have identified me. That just show the monster that he has become.
Mhm. And I'm sure, like, hearing all that, I'm sure Sue was like just devastated and angry because like being a mother herself, I'm sure she's like couldn't even imagine like doing anything like that to a child.
Yeah, she basically was devastated when she lost a child, which is obvious.
Mhm.
And then here they go infiltrating the
Fortress.
mountain. Yes. Thank you, Gabby. Ah, oh my goodness. And just, you know, the fact that, you know, she has to hold his hand to channel her powers through him as well, so he stays invisible. I mean,
Mhm.
keep him, that must have been really hard for her, you know, like you just heard like your former partner, maybe best friend, is an actual devil, like he's a psychopath. But you
Mhm.
have to get through this mission. You have to basically still hold his hand
Yeah.
to save 5 children, knowing that, you know, it don't matter if something goes wrong, he will kill them anyways.
Mhm. Hello.
Sean.
What's up?
And then of course he goes into the whole no half measures. Like,
Yeah. Like he's seen our faces or seen your face, and she's like, "Don't do it."
and then dun
Uh-oh.
dun dun, everything will go to poop because Maria Hill entered the chat, coming for that booty. Um, just her questioning, like, what have you done?
Yes.
And then just when you think there's like 10 more issues coming, basically it's going to end in the next issue. And you're just like, how are they going to do that? Really, honestly, tell me.
I just wish it was just a little bit longer.
Not just a little, like it should have been like an ongoing series, like for
I
reals.
know.
Like they give Black Cat constantly like really horrible ongoing series. And then this just gets like a 5. No way.
Mm-mm.
Marvel again.
She deserves more
Yo.
respect.
Yes.
Like, cause like as a big fan of Invisible Woman myself, like this whole comic series was just really interesting for me to read because it just shows her in like a whole new light that we never have seen before. So
Yeah, and I had never seen her before, so just this being my introduction, like my true introduction to her, oh my goodness, I wanted more. So that's when I started buying all the other Fantastic Four books, and I honestly I haven't got through them yet, but that's because I got a lot of these books at like thrift shops.
mm,
So they were cheaper, so you just buy a bunch and then you stack them away, and it's like, oh, I'll
yeah,
read it when I have the time. But now that you're such a big Fantastic Four fan, now I'm just like, yay, we can actually get through this. And I think it would be cool if we do like anything like related to her, like on your channel, and then maybe in the future do something like Captain Marvel related on my channel or something like that, like entire series, because those are like our ladies.
yes,
Though I prefer Carol as Miss Marvel.
yes, definitely.
So you get all the good stuff. You get like Silver Surfer, Galactus, and what do I get? I get Wonder Man, an angry Tony Stark. Which is nothing wrong with that. I mean, the story's still good.
Yeah.
Oh, I get Rogue.
Mm-hmm. True.
Kitty agrees. Diego loves Rogue. But here is basically Maria Hill, who's now part of the CIA because S.H.I.E.L.D. does not exist anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Is that also maybe happening in the MCU? Ooh.
Possibly.
Like, what happened to her? I mean, she was so prominent in the first like Avengers movie, and then she just went to the background. And
Yeah. I really wish we had gotten to see more of her.
me too. Kobe Smulders,
Mm-hmm.
especially with that Dutch last name. I was like, oh, we have another Dutchie. We have Famke Janssen, who plays Jean Grey in the original X-Men movies.
Yeah.
And then you had Rebecca Romijn, who is the Mystique, which is also like a Dutch name. And Dutchies were like taking over, and then Kobe Smulders.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. Was another? No, that wasn't another Dutch person. Well, I mean, soon Angelina Jolie will enter the chat, and I read somewhere that from her mother's side, she has a bit Dutch in her blood. So this is like me going Iron Man 3 style, me looking at the Angelina Jolie picture and go like, we're connected. Oh, just everything. People, if you have not read this series, I mean, the story and the artwork alone, that just
Amazing. They're fantastic.
the fantastic 5 issues.
Yep.
And of course, Aiden is on the plane, and Maria and Susan, they are like planning like what to do, and Susan's like, if you keep this plane next to the plane that is being hijacked, then I can create some sort of force field
Bridge.
to bridge.
Yeah.
I mean, English, what do I know? Create a ray of light. And here we have Sue on the toilet, like, oh, there's just one piece that's still left. No, I'm kidding. That's just taken steady. But she's still beautiful, though. Damn it. But yeah, you can see the ray of light, the bridge that she is creating, which also takes a lot of her energy.
Mm-hmm.
So if you got something to say about what's going on, Gabby, go ahead. Don't make me interrupt you or make mistakes. Like, girl, you got it all wrong, with your force field. It's a goddamn bridge.
Okay, so here we see her go onto the plane with all the students that are being transported, who were supposedly kidnapped and held hostage. So there's a guy on the plane with a gun, but then she says there's a bomb on the jet, which freaks everyone out. And she's like, the calm and collected person she is, she's like, just stay calm. I got this. I'm not gonna let anyone get hurt. So she does something very cool with her powers on the next page.
Am I there yet? Or
no, keep going. So they could find the bomb that's on there. And so they end up finding it, and
they only have like 60 seconds to do so. I mean, no pressure.
So no pressure.
Just find it.
Yep.
But I have to go to the bathroom. Not a good moment.
No.
Then like casually, got something.
Yeah, he's like, is this it?
Like total kids, right? Like, oh,
what is this? And so Sue just like opens the door and just chucks it out.
Like a queen. This is also amazingly done, like artwork style, the lightning, everything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it doesn't happen every day that it don't matter like which angle light hits you that you're still pretty. I mean, for a lot of us women, it's like, because Gabby knows it. Like in the beginning, I was like, oh, is this light good? Is this light good? Oh, I have to adjust it. But Sue doesn't need adjustment. She is always pretty.
Yep.
Yeah. Thanks for saying, yeah, Gabby. You could have just said, no, you're pretty too. But okay, thanks.
You are.
But yeah, in the meantime, Aiden has, as you can tell, left. I mean, how kind of him. He left her alive. The one thing that he didn't kill, he left Maria behind so that he could take over the plane and basically still go after Susan. Because, of course, he knows. Wait, it is Susan, right? The name. Or not? I mean, she's your favorite character. Her name is Susan, right?
Yeah. Oh, I thought you... Yeah.
Oh my god, we're both having brain fart.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. I got it. Like, it is a brave part. I was like, oh my god, her name was Susan, right? Or was it Stormy, or both?
Oh my gosh.
Welcome to Mortal Kombat. But yeah, so he is basically, with his lovely face right here, he goes straight after Susan because he knows that Susan will. Oh my gosh, she will save the day anyways. Like, because she's awesome, possum, as Louis would say. Um, Hold on. So we get like this entire dialogue going on between them, which is basically showing that he is. Oops. Susie Q. Um, you're a smug little rule princess. You're more high ground. You vow to never kill because you're oh so above me. And I never said I was. You always found some clever way. Your conscience clean. So proud of it. I should do the whole voices thing, right? Not today. Your luck just ran out. I'm headed right for you. Collision course. Aiden, stop! That's insane! No, insane is thinking you can be espionage agent without one drop of blood on your hands. That you can judge me for doing what you want. I never! You're finally. Oh my god, am I ruining things? I'll give people a second to read before they go like, "Oh my god, this voice it's just also in my head." But it's an interesting dialogue, right?
Mm-hmm. And I was gonna say, like, even though she always says that she keeps her conscience clean, but she still has like an ongoing battle within herself because, like, one thing I didn't say with the Malice Misters of Hate earlier. I'm sorry.
Oh, we're both coughing. It's okay. The invisible weed.
One thing I didn't mention earlier was like Malice. She always existed inside of Sue's subconscious, and Psycho Man basically brought Malice out of Sue. So Malice still in all reality exists within Sue. So she's constantly battling like with herself when it comes to like making decisions, like really big decisions based on that. So I just wanted to add that.
Before we go in a really interesting panel. Mm-hmm. Because here he goes like, I always warned you that someday you'd have to take the shot, Stormy. Poor thing. It must be awful to finally have to consider killing. It's really that he just wants to force her. Oh, he is forcing her to basically make her first kill for whatever satisfaction it gives him. And then
she's like, finally?
You ass! And then she's like, think about what I can do. Give you an instant embolism from 100 yards out. Crush your windpipe. Fill your lungs. Drive a force field spike through your heart without blinking. I'm a living weapon. I'm finally thinking about killing. I have to think about it all the time. Mm-hmm. I never worry about being strong enough to take a life, Aiden. I worry about being strong enough not to. You're the one with the choice here, Aiden. Your suicide is not on my conscience, so pull the hell up.
Tell him so.
You're sick.
He really
but
is.
but then still she, you can see on her face like this is the end for Aiden, but she
Mhm.
just hopes that the Aiden that she knew will come out. But he is far gone, girl.
Yeah.
Gone with the wind.
And I'm sure that breaks her heart. Like you can just see the expression on her face here. Like she's like, please, please don't do this. Don't make me do this.
The tears, it's,
Yeah.
oh gosh, it makes me almost tear up too now, but there's my eyes just itchy, sorry. It's a perfect moment. And then yeah, it's too late.
Boom.
But then still giving that final peace offering for Aiden, because this is the necklace. Um, that she swore to bury, right?
There.
bury. um, I mean, look how beautiful again with the wind. Oh my gosh, the shampoo. I want to know which one she's using. Um, they just go over this dialogue, but maybe you can help me understand, because maybe it's just my English that it's just effed up. Because I is it, yeah, it's this panel right here, like Aiden was driven to the point where he couldn't live with himself. Like, what exactly is she saying here? Like, let's not take that chance, okay? Not right now. Because, before that, Maria is like, you'd never, like, what exactly is she saying here? I,
To me, it's basically saying that he was just the way I perceive it is that he was just too far gone to be able to redeem himself. So he just took the plunge and
because
ended.
is it then maybe also like a reference to malice?
Yeah, because she says, I cannot risk the same thing happening to me because I'm unstoppable. And Aiden knew that. I mean, I'm sure she probably told him, like, everything that happened to her. Well, actually, I mean, if this took place before the Fantastic Four, then probably not, maybe not, but he might have heard about it because I'm sure New York was literally on fire when Malice came up. So I'm sure he heard about it somewhere. And I'm sure
Yeah.
people knew about it too, says their shield. And I mean, like I was saying, she's constantly battling with herself and like I mean, she has to make some really tough decisions, like, and not just in the series, but in general. Like when she's out saving the galaxy, like one wrong move and it's it's over. So
So I should definitely check out that John
yes,
Byrne. I have it written down. Yeah, because I have the She-Hulk book, but so I, out of my enthusiasm, right, I'm like, oh, She-Hulk. So I bought this, and it
ooh,
starts, and I just don't understand what the hell is going on. But it turns out that this is a continuation because it starts with issue number 31. Because
oh, okay,
I was like, oh, I thought I had the original trade, but
oh
or at least where it starts with issue 1. But she's also a character that we will probably dive into sooner or later.
yeah, for sure.
Oh,
Just bring in all the ladies,
the
all the
awesome
ladies of
ladies.
Marvel.
Yeah, I just, oh my gosh.
But yeah, if you have not read John Byrne's run of Fantastic Four, I would definitely check it out because it is amazing.
I will for sure.
It's like just so much happens during this whole thing, this whole run. It goes on for quite a while.
Mm.
And where's that other panel I wanted to? So here, like, this was after she had the miscarriage of their child, and so something's happening in uh, somewhere else, and so Reed and the rest of the team are called away, and Sue's like, "Oh, I need to go. You might need my powers," and Reed's like, "No, you need to stay here because you just suffered a miscarriage," and he's like basically trying to look after her, which I can understand, but her way of thinking is this isn't fair. Like I'm gonna read what she says. Or actually she's thinking this. This isn't fair. I love Reed and I understand his point of view, but it's frustrating even after all these years, he still treats me like I'm some delicate China doll that will break if anyone so much as breathes on it. Well, he's wrong. I'm not a doll. I'm every bit as important of a part of the team as Reed, Johnny, or Ben or She-Hulk. I won't be pushed into the background again. And then you see this panel here, or she just utterly destroys everything in Reed's lab.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's almost like a Jean Grey type of woman, right? Like she can just snap.
Yeah.
Snap attack.
But then again, she was still like very emotional and grieving at the time, so her emotions were all over the place. But I mean, he did the same thing to her after Franklin was born too. Like she just kind of got shuffled to the sidelines to take care of Franklin, their son, which is understandable because someone needed to take care of him. But still, like he wouldn't let her go on any missions at all, which was kind of wrong.
Yeah, she's not a slave.
No. And I think that's actually one of their main issues in their like throughout their marriage and their history. Like he doesn't really, he hasn't always seen her as an equal, like definitely not at first. And she's made that very clear to him several times. Like I'm your wife. I'm supposed to be your equal, your partner, and you just see me as like the mother of your child or something like that. And it's just wrong.
You know, for a long time, I actually want to really discover the Fantastic Four, and I have to say, thank you, Gabby, because you really have convinced me to really dive into them. Because as I said, I have the Jonathan Hickman series here, at least 4 volumes, but you said there were more volumes, so I probably don't have all of them.
Yeah.
I have the one I think I showed before. It's called Behold Galactus, which I bought it for Galactus, and it's like I think it's from the 70s. I thought it was pretty cool, but I don't know. I never really pushed myself like further into them. I like for no reason. It's not like, oh, I don't like them as much, because I do. But yeah, I think that's why we are doing show like this. Time to go to school, time to get educated. And especially how you talk about Susan so passionately, it was really like, I've been missing out. Sincerely, because I'm just like stuck with like a Carol Danvers or a Jean or whatever, and here you are talking about a person that is actually super super powerful, that we were questioning, like if she would be put up against Scarlet Witch, who would win? You're like, yeah, but she can just suffocate her, like
like she can do a range of things. Actually, it's mind blowing.
Create bridges.
But like she was saying in the conversation with Aiden, like, I can I can give you an embolism like from 100 miles away, or drive a spike through your heart, or so there's. I mean, like I was saying, she can basically do anything, like as long as she can think of it.
Yeah, just like Wanda.
Pretty much.
So Marvel is all about the how do you call it? I cannot think of the word right now. The emotionally damaged ladies.
Yeah.
Just like, way to go, Marvel. Women are only powerful as long as they're fucked up. No, shit, sorry.
Okay.
I try my best not to use bad language. It was the bridge, the invisible bridge that came out.
Yeah. There is an issue where it shows Sue with some of the other Avengers. I'm trying to find it. I think you'll find it interesting.
I already find her interesting. I want more.
Oh, and here's another big bad man that we hope to see.
Mephisto. Dum dum dum.
I really hope we see him soon.
Yes.
Gosh.
And then he can bring in Babe Doom. Yes. I am Victor von Doom. I am from Europa. And I'm here to take over. Like, yes, Daddy.
Yeah, so Mephisto actually has a different kind of history with Fantastic Four, and part of that revolves around their son, Franklin. He actually tried to steal Franklin's powers at one point in the comics.
Franklin seems to be an interesting person then, because also in the X-Men book, he was also like considered a mutant for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't finished the series yet.
He was born with his powers, and like they literally manifested when he was like, I don't know, 2 or 3 years old, which is insane. And
insane in the membrane. Insane in the brain.
And since he was a child, he couldn't really control them at all. So Fantastic Four kind of had to take very extreme measures to keep his powers under control, because he is considered the most powerful mutant in the Marvel Universe. I don't know if you knew that or not.
No. But I hope they didn't bring him to Xavier, because we all know as soon as a mutant ends up in Xavier's hands, it's like, oh, game over. Yes, they brought him to Xavier. Oh.
Yeah, so I'm trying to find that issue. Where is it? I was just looking at it.
We all have those moments. I'll just put it right here so I won't forget. Where did I put it? I can't find it.
I should have marked it or bookmarked it.
Yeah, that's usually the thought that I have too. I should bookmark things that, yeah. And I'll probably just end up using sheets of toilet paper real fast, because I cannot find toilet as a bookmark, because they're like, oh, the show's about to start. Let's hope it doesn't fall out. Freaky Louie! X-Men. Oh yeah. It was great. But also, really, one of my favorite traits ever is yeah. Where is it? Abba. Everything is not going as I want. Oh my god, where is
But I agree, the X-Men versus Fantastic Four was great. Mm.
Also, one of my favorite. Yes, because we all know Black Bolt is a daddy.
Oh. All this time I was trying to look through these volumes here, but I had brought in another volume that I had to sit it aside, so it's in this one.
It's Babe Doom.
All right. Oh yeah, Doom. It's almost. Here we go. So this issue.
Yes, Kamala Khan is an Inhuman. I think also that is one of the smart ways to introduce Inhumans, because we all want Black Bolt and Medusa to show up. And not Medusa as a Sinead O'Connor, because nothing compares to her, but it did with that series. But just when Black Bolt goes, ugh, and just whoop, a small ray, I'm like, really? And when he goes, goodbye, brother, at the end, I'm like, excuse me, that just should destroy everything.
Mm-hmm.
But it just did the small part where the brother was captured. Well done. But yeah. Back to Gabby.
Okay, so I really forgot that these two awesome characters were in this issue, but basically what's happening is Reed ends up going missing, and he was supposed to be helping Vision because he's like in he's not really in commission right now. But Scarlet Witch, of course, is there. Another queen.
Looking like a queen.
So Reed was supposed to be helping him, but him and the rest of the event, some of the other Avengers go missing. So he's MIA. And another awesome character, Silver Surfer, shows up. And so since Reed's missing, Sue kind of takes over as leader. I mean, she's always really been second in command anyway, so I was like, you tell him.
You go, girl. Just get a different haircut next time.
Mm-hmm. And where's the other panel? But at some point, something ends up happening in Central Park. There's this odd, like, structure that was built or just showed up out of nowhere.
Cool. Was it Babe Nito?
I have no idea. So she ends up taking the Fantastic Car there, and Vision, Scarlet Witch, and Mockingbird, who's another character I love.
She's in there?
Yeah. The other blonde woman here is Mockingbird.
Awesome! Well, what book is it? What is it called? Oh, look at that.
Yeah, so this is Fantastic Four Visionaries. It's obviously a graphic novel, John Byrne, volume
Again?
4.
Note taken.
Yeah, so the Avengers are confused, like why is Sue there? Like what's happening? And they're trying to find the rest of the Avengers and Reed, and so they've been transported somewhere apparently, and like Vision says I suspect nothing on Earth, Susan. I can at this point only hazard a guess, but I believe that the artifact that showed up in Central Park was some kind of transporting device, or I guess at some you might as well call it a portal, and it transported them somewhere. And and by the way, right around this time is when Sue was actually pregnant. So this is before um, she miscarried the child. So she technically should not be out there right now. But she is worried about Reed and the rest of the team. So then they finally show up.
Ah, She-Hulk. Do you know a lot about She-Hulk? At least, like, which issues I should check out first?
I mean, I'm still learning about She-Hulk myself, kind of. I mean, I know I've read about some about her in Fantastic Four since she's joined the team in the older comics, but I'm still learning myself. So
maybe we can sooner or later do this. I don't know, like if it's like I know there's also another one. Like you have the Sensational She-Hulk and another one. Maybe we can do a read along.
Yeah, or find an expert on She-Hulk and have them join us.
Who knows? Who is out there? Woo!
So
well, yeah. We're already over 2 hours, girl.
Oh, I mean, like I said, Sue's my favorite, so I could talk all day about her and about Fantastic Four. So
I noticed that. So, like, for the next video, because I think maybe we should just stay on the Fantastic Four hype train for a bit. So, if you want, of course. So I can also.
No, I don't mind.
So I can also like learn more about her, and especially since they are announced, that maybe there are other people that want to join in and discover more about them. So like which book would you suggest first read? Like the John Byrne one that you mentioned, or?
I mean, we can. It's a great run, or we can read the Jonathan Hickman run because that's another one of my favorites.
Yes. And so I can actually finally open them up and.
Yeah.
I have them right here. Oh. Which is. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, that's the Future Foundation.
But that is the one that you're talking about, right? The Jonathan Hickman one. Or is there another one?
There's another one.
Oh. Well, I have this one.
Yeah, that's. I'm pretty sure that's the Future Foundation story, where they get the new costumes. I think that takes place after the events of the other one.
Well, there goes my excitement. I don't know what this is about, but
yeah, that. I mean,
did I buy trash?
No, I mean, I think I like it. It's good.
Well, I'll just look up the other Jonathan Hickman then, so we could talk about that one.
Mm-hmm.
And just read his entire novels that he puts in between, and it's like, oh my god, here we go again.
First Marvel family. Yep. Me too.
Well, Freaky Louie, if you're ever available on an afternoon, probably throughout the week, because I know that you work during the weekends as well. But if we ever, or at least if you ever want to join and talk about one of your favorite runs, hey, you're more than welcome.
I've been trying to think of some other people that we could bring on for to join us for certain characters.
Yeah.
So I kind of started a list. Or that's
Oh
not
my. She's gonna mention all the people that I actually secretly hate right now.
um,
Sure, we'll have them on. Let's talk backstage, Gabby. Take
well,
it back.
we can talk about it backstage, but yeah, I'm super excited to talk more about all these other awesome characters.
Yes. Plus, I would also love to dive into like DC characters. And I don't know if that link works for you to read it online, because we don't have to spend all our money on comic books, of course. But if that works for you, then we can also just dive into other characters because I'm currently reading a lot online because
Mm-hmm.
we're in lockdown and I'm not gonna son a sheetless list. But yeah, for sure. More DC character. Like my newfound glory is Batgirl. Because I started out reading the Oracle Code, which is like a small graphic novel, and I was just fell in love with it. But let's not derail too much. But it would be awesome.
Yeah, maybe you could teach me more about DC characters. So
I don't know a lot, but for what I know, I love like for sure Catwoman, the Huntress, who is in the back, and Catwoman is also in the back,
yeah,
and now Barbara Gordon, the Oracle or Batgirl. I recently started reading some Batwoman, but I don't know, for some reason Batgirl made a really good impression on me, but it's for another time.
oh, I forgot. There's like a cover back here that I was showing. I don't know if you saw it, but boom! Look at that.
Wow, so pretty.
Yeah, it's a art germ cover. So I was like, I'm
Damn.
bringing this thing.
I need that in my life.
And then on the other side is the painting I did.
Yes, such an awesome painting. So, anything else you want to talk about, or we'll keep it for another stream because it's already 2 hours, and girls got an early shift in the morning.
Same, but I know it's not like late there yet or here yet. I know it's late.
It's after 11 p.m. here.
Yeah.
No pressure.
So, I guess we'll end things here and wait for the next stream.
Yes, so for sure on Saturday we will geek out about WandaVision episode number 4.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Another queen.
Tomorrow, like in a few hours, it's live. So as soon as I get home from work, that's the first thing I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna dive in a chair and be like, hit play, bam.
Yep. Same.
And I'll probably be texting you like, did you see that? No, not yet. Oh fuck, sorry.
All right.
So,
well, thank you,
Saturday.
all of you, for joining us. This was super fun.
Yes. And we hope that you like our new way of showing the comic books. If not, joke's on you, because it's probably how we're going to do it from now on.
Yeah.
Too bad, sucker. So thanks everyone for joining, especially Freaky Louie, because I think he is like the only one left in the chat by now.
Yeah.
He is always such a supportive one. Stay puff. Just going through the chat real quick. Crispy Spidey, of course. Heck. um, Trisham
Yeah,
one.
a friend from Twitch.
Thank you all for joining, and who stayed quiet. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll see you soon.
And as always, it's an honor, Sani.
No, for me it's an honor. Because I think you're the one of bringing all the information instead of just me, because I'm still such a noob, and I've learned so much just about Invisible Woman today. Like what rock have I been sleeping under? Thank you, Gabby.
Mm-hmm.
The awesome queen.
And I'm sure we'll be talking about Invisible Woman a lot more in the future.
Oh yeah, especially if we go through the Fantastic Four stuff. So
yeah, much more.
This is the end. Let's get hyped for the movies.
All right. Well, I guess I will see you on Saturday.
Yeah, see you everyone on Saturday. Thank you.
Good night.
Ciao. I keep waving.